Growing up on a farm was an amazing experience. It was a lot of hard work. It taught me diligence, patience. From an early age, I think I was probably 5 years old when my parents put a sharp knife in my hand and said, "Here, you're going to cut apricots," down in the Santa Clara Valley. And we cut the cot, we'd remove the pit. I'd put these apricots on the trays to be dried in the sun. And I learned what a sharp knife was really fast. But that didn't stop me. We picked it up, put a Band-Aid on, and continued on. And it was those experiences of family getting together. I'd get together with my cousins, and we would perform these chores together while our mothers were off cooking a great meal. So some of my fondest memories from the beginning were family together, working hard together, and then sharing the experience of a great meal together. This experience that I had that just left me with a great sense of family and supporting each other. You know, my grandfather was a farmer, my dad was a farmer, I was a farmer, and when my children told me when they were in junior high school, basically, they didn't want to be farmers. That was a shock to my system. And what were we going to do together to keep our family together?
For 3 generations prior to my sister and I living in the Napa Valley, my family had put their life, their blood, their sweat, their tears into farming the soil and working with Mother Nature. For me, my calling was working with people and spreading the gospel of my family. It was in 2001 that I realized that I needed to get out to restaurants, I needed to get out to the public, I needed to meet the people and share the story that had been so quietly shared, whether it be farming apricots in the San Jose Cupertino area, which was what my great-grandparents did, through finding a farmstead along the Russian River in the small town of Healdsburg, where my father and his 2 brothers worked on a farm and they raised prunes and apples. Through the late 70s when my father found my mother Darcy and they settled in that small town of Yountville, and he grew grapes for the last number of years.
I think it struck a chord over time because I recognized how much they loved food, how much they loved wine, and we eventually got in business together, producing wine together.
He navigates the ship that's viticulture, and I navigate the ship of sales and marketing, just like Allison navigates the ship of winemaking. Together we have 3 captains, but we all have the end island that we all want to return to, year after year after year.
I came here and discovered this site about 25 years ago, and as I got into the soil, I recognized just the right kind of balance for stressing the vines out. It was lighter and fluffier than other soils around, but full of gravel, and I could tell it had really good drainage and really good potential. And it hinders the vine's growth a little bit to create just the balance we're looking for in the wine. That's one of the reasons this site is so special.
The story of Hill Family Estate was my calling, is my calling, and something that I'm very passionate about today.
There's nothing like seeing your family blossom and grow and reach heights that are unimaginable. And I started to think about what I wanted to leave behind, just my legacy. And I think my thing is just being able to continue to teach my kids and teach my family, inspire them, and be a good example for them in so many different ways, not just as a football player, but as an entrepreneur, a businessman, an artist, an actor. When they look at me, I want them to look and see that I was a hard worker.
When we had the opportunity to work with Vernon Davis and the Vernon Davis Foundation of the Arts, it made sense right away. The biggest thing was finding out when we could get started, how it would work, and the details surrounding it. What we came down to is crafting 250 cases of wine that Vernon selected himself with our winemaker, Allison. Through the sale of this wine, we're going to give 50% of the proceeds directly to the Vernon Davis Foundation of the Arts charity. This money is going to aid kids with music and art programs in the San Jose area.
I believe so much in the wonderful upbringing that I've had. And I know that many people in the world haven't participated in that same wonderful upbringing. And so for me, sharing however I may in helping others in the world to have better lives is a very important thing to me. If I can share the passion for the art of growing grapes that I've had and allow others to participate in some sort of creativity, perhaps it can help them find a path.